Okay, so hello everyone. This is Joe Bennett with Talent Raters, and it was a few weeks back when I was talking to my colleague Gerg Anadem from Indie Scene Radio. And if anyone doesn't know Gerg, he is, in my opinion, one of the best AR reps in the business. And to understand that, you have to see him in his element. And just has the ability to go right up to people and just kind of meet and greet without flaw. Sometimes I have the tendency to be a little bit shy, but he just really works it. And we found out about this band through Gerg, so we want to give him props on that. And without further ado, we'd like to introduce 100,000.
Hey, Talent Raiders.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yo! So why don't we start off by introducing each member of the band and their roles?
Okay, I'm Andrew. I play bass.
I'm Rich. I sing. How you doing?
I'm Kurt. I play drums.
Great guitar.
Great. Okay, and what do you classify your genre as?
Progressive hard rock, probably the easiest catch-all for what we play.
Okay, and I guess the $1,000,000 question is, how did you come up with the band name 100,000? Can you explain that?
The band name actually came from a lyric to a song called Prepare the Ground by a band called Yob. I'm a huge fan of that band. They're actually like a doom metal band. But we ended up gravitating towards the name 100,000 because it didn't really have any genre connotations, didn't really bring anything to mind. It sort of, it made us think about what that band would sound like, and we just got a good vibe from it.
Okay, so it just was kind of like a cool name, but it doesn't have, to you, does it have like a specific meaning beyond? Does it have something that was a cool name?
I guess what it means is that we're not of one genre. We're free to do whatever we want musically.
Right. Well, that's excellent, and that is really cool. I think it's a cool name. And now we're going to move into what I think is just a phenomenal song and video. I want you to talk about your song and video, Low, and kind of talk about the storyline. And I just have to say, when I saw this video and I saw Rich singing with such power and passion, I was just blown away. Not to mention that, no exception, that you guys were just killing it on the instruments. But when I see a band that is that tight and that passionate about what they do, I'm just blown away. I mean, I'd like to talk about a little bit like where the landscape was. That was beautiful in the snow, but singing with that force and that passion, you just can't help but feel that to the core. And it's just such a great song. And I'm not gonna sit here and talk all the time away. I want you guys to.
I like this. Is all great. This is
I'm gonna pump you up because I had another band that was on here not too long ago that I considered an excellent, really tight band, and you're another one. I mean, you're just another find that I would say, yeah, everybody has to pay their dues. Everybody has to pay their dues, but 100,000. Now, if I had the choice, we put them to the head of the table because these guys rock. These guys are tight. These guys kill it, and it is. There's nothing, when I look at a video like Low, there's nothing wrong about it from top to bottom. It just kills all the way through, and it's got a storyline. It's even if you don't know all the words right off the bat, it's affecting you, and it's hitting you in a certain way. And that song has like a deep meaning into it, and I know I've watched it a few times, multiple times, and it just blows me away. So without further ado, why don't you guys talk more about Low and what it means to you and the inspiration that went into making it?
Well, the song "Low" is about loss. That's really what it comes down to. It's however you want to plug that into your own experience. Andrew actually wrote the lyrics to that song, but for me, it's just the loss of a loved one, of the loss of anything meaningful to you, in your life. The way the video came together, we worked with a fine young gentleman. His name is Mike Lowther. We hooked up with him. He came out to a couple of shows, and he was a fan of the music, and he directed a couple like small film, little film projects, and we were putting together a video for another song, Type Stolen, that I actually was very amateurish, trying to put together. And he helped me out a lot, actually. We worked closely together, and he had the concept for the video. A lot of it was his idea. We bounced a lot of things back and forth, but really loved his idea of like creating this dream world type of thing. You don't really know where the character playing the guy, walking around in this weird world. It's snowy, and you don't know how he got there, and then fast forward to the end, and he's kind of like waking up and realizing something happens, and it's kind of loose. You can kind of interpret it your own way, which is really cool. It's we shot it in North Jersey. It was pretty cold that day. The actress Lauren, she was wearing, you could see she's wearing like close to nothing. She's wearing a little dress and running around in a snowy woods.
Right.
And,
She was a real champion about it.
total trooper, really killed it.
She did not get paid.
No.
And I have a question because I've watched it so many times now. I love the sound. I love everything. We're still trying to figure out what is a symbolism with the girl walking in the snow. Is it like a breakup, or you're trying to find your woman? There's some kind of connection with the woman in the snow, the way it's drawn. You still can't. You have to watch it so many times, and you're still trying to figure out what's.
Well, if you go to the end of the video, you'll see this shot where we're on top of a rooftop, and that was shot in Hoboken, overlooking the New York City skyline, and you'll see that like there's a scene where she's putting her hand on my shoulder, and it's almost like I got startled. You don't know what happened. You don't know if like I was feeling depressed or something and I wanted to like hurt myself or whatever. It's kind of loose. You don't really know what happens, but the world that's created before all that is kind of like another realm, another in between.
It's like death.
It's like death almost, if you want to look at it like that,
Right. So she might be kind of like a ghost figure that's visiting you and saying, don't go there because I don't know, whatever you have in mind, but
or like flashbacks to the previous life, and he's like kind of not sure what happened or how he got there, and he starts seeing this girl and he tries to follow her, and then he figures out what actually happened to him. And yeah, I don't know, it's kind of cool how it goes back and forth. Everyone has their own interpretation of it. So
yeah, well, all I can say is it's really phenomenal. I mean, you've got it like from top to bottom. You've got great music that is just so tight and killing, but then you've got this great video, and I'm talking great video. I mean, it's something where I wanted to watch it. It made me want to watch it multiple times because it was so good. The landscape, the way the snippets went back and forth, and I still kind of, what's going on with that girl? It's just phenomenal. So that's great work. And whenever you put something high quality like that together, guys, you should be very proud of yourselves. And I'm sure you've got, some other material you want to talk about. Unless you want to continue on low, if you've got something else, you've got something in the works, new musics, other songs you'd like to mention, now's the time for you to, promote some of that.
Sure, we're dropping a new single in the middle of September. It's a one-off song, not going to be on an album, just kind of like on its own. And then we're writing a lot. We're putting out a new release next year, in March of next year.
Excellent. Is your music available to your public?
All our music that has been released is on every digital media site. You can grab a physical from us. I think we have a link to it up on the website. If not, we should probably do that. We have a limited. We do. All right, good. Oh yeah, yeah.
So you guys are everywhere. I mean, if somebody wants to find...
we're Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, Google Play, all that stuff.
You go to our website, ohtband.com. It has links to everything, all those YouTube, Spotify, all that stuff.
Okay. And so to everybody out there in the audience and the 100,000 fans that are out there, this is where I want to jump in and say, you know what? This is your opportunity to support these gentlemen that put out this great music for you. and it is a lot of work. It takes a lot of work, and like they just told you, they were just freezing to death in the snow to make this beautiful video. So support them. If you love their music, get on. Don't even wait. Just buy their music right now. Get on. Whether you can purchase one song or two songs, or if they got an EP or they've got a full album, look for it. They said it's everywhere. Show them support, and generally, I'm sure, just like most bands, your mantra is the same thing. We love our fans. They are everything to us. And so you as fans support this great band, because I don't usually just come out and say, wow, that's one awesome, amazing band. And I'm saying that for 100,000. So the next question is, I kind of want to know a little bit. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about yourselves? How long you guys have been together? How did it happen? Do you see yourselves being together forever? What's the brotherhood like? You know?
We're definitely going to be together forever. That's no question.
Good.
We're definitely BFFs. No, we've been around. We've been a band since 2011. Our other guitar player, Alex, who's not here, he and I started this band from another band. We basically kind of killed our old band and started this one new. Got Andrew and I went to college together, so I knew him. And then we had a previous singer who we parted ways with and got Rich through a studio client of mine. Their vocalist was roommates with Rich, and that's how we got hooked up with him. Greg was in our network for a really long time, both in other bands and a lot of other capacities. Greg was in a band that was going south, and we gladly sniped him from that project.
Oh, yeah. And which one is not here tonight?
Alex is not here tonight.
Alex, and so the other guitar player. So how long have you guys been together total since you've formed 100,000?
Well, I mean, at the beginning, that's 2011. In our current lineup, it's been about a year and a half.
So you've done some changes, but now where you're at right now, you're good and solid.
Yeah, we're good. We're staying this way forever.
Well, that's good, and I hope you say that, and you better stick to it, because the last band that I interviewed, I said, man, you guys are tight. You guys are the brotherhood, and this is a band that also goes to the head of the table. And then 2 weeks later, I'm getting information that they split, and I said, are you kidding me? And I guess that happens. It does happen.
Joke.
But I'm not trying to jinx you guys. I swear to God. But stay together, please, because we want more of this sound. We want more of this good music. So I hope you guys stick to it.
We'll be all right. We don't get on each other's nerves as much as a lot of other bands do. We're pretty high functioning.
That's good.
For musicians, we're pretty high functioning people.
Okay, well, very well. I'm gonna hold you to that, because I definitely want to see more from 100,000
Cool.
as the years tick by and stuff. So why don't you guys one at a time? Well, actually, before we do that, I just want to call Andrew out, because you're the Walk Hill guy, aren't you? You went to Walk Hill? Yeah. So I just wanted to do that for a minute, because I went to Valley Central, which was one district over, and I thought that was pretty cool also when I heard that. So but now we'll go to the main question, which is why don't you each talk a little bit about your gear?
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a great question. We don't get to talk about gear enough. I'll start. I play Pearl drums. I have a Pearl Maple Masters drum kit, Evans drum heads, Sabian cymbals, Vader drumsticks.
Nice.
And I guess when everybody goes around, I'll come back to our live rig too.
Right now I'm using 2 basses. I got a Warwick Corvette, a 6-string, and then a Worker B 5-string. The company is B. I'm using a Fractal Axe-Fx 2 for amplification, and then a PV amp as really just a power amp on stage.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm endorsed by Madison Amps, so I have those are the amps I play exclusively, and I play Les Paul. That's my axe,
Wow.
and the TC Electronics G System Stompbox pedal, and multi effects pedal, whatever those things are called. What are those things called?
G System.
Yeah. Good. Keep it at that. And Alex plays Jericho guitars and Axe-Fx also.
Terrific. Well, I didn't ask you because I'm also a drummer, and I didn't really ask you about your cymbals. And I got to tell a quick, funny story because the last interview I couldn't hear the drummer very well, and he said, "Yeah, man, I'm endorsed, and I endorse Soul Tone cymbals." And I said, "Great, silicone cymbals? I hadn't heard of them before. I had Zildjian, Sabian, Pace, you know." So I was just curious. You want to talk about your cymbals?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other brands, and like I know there's a lot of people that are really itching to get endorsement. I am definitely not endorsed by Sabian. I've just been playing Sabian forever.
They are a great cymbal, though.
I don't really have ambition to play another brand. I have Pisces, I have Zildjians, just like in my collection, but really Sabian, I feel like for me they're doing the most in terms of innovative without kind of going beyond the realm of usability. I think Meinl, I do enjoy a lot of the stuff Meinl's doing currently, but I feel like they've gone a little bit too far in terms of hype. People love the super dry stuff that it like doesn't even sound like a cymbal anymore. Everybody's cymbals are just this like dry thing, and like it's really cool, but not for every cymbal. So Sabian's my jam. I've been playing that.
I like Sabian too, and he swears though. He says, I played all the main cymbals. Zildjian, I'll tell you what, before a year is up, I'm cracking a cymbal or whatever. And with Soul Tone, I never break them ever. I haven't tried Soul Tone, but it sounds like something worth checking out at some point. But I think when you're set with like the ones you like, stick with it. If they're very bright, I mean, Sabian are beautiful. They got a very bright sound. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that want to say that they're endorsed, so they'll go with another company. I totally get that. Like we're that way a little bit with guitars. I mean, Jericho's been really cool to us for Alex and me in terms of guitar and like guitar artist pricing with them. They're a smaller company. They're really awesome. They make really awesome stuff. I don't have like a really devout guitar affiliation until them. Drums, like I've got my stuff. I'm super brand loyal. It takes a lot for me.
Yeah, I've got a few different brands, and I've got 5 or 6 different drum sets. One being an electronic Roland set, but my baby is my DW. I guess special anniversary series or whatever, and it's in maple feathered walnut, and it just kills. But I think Curl are great drums too, though.
You get guys that like the DW guys, the Pearl guys, the Yamaha guys, the like people who have played those brands for a really long time usually stick with that because it's very hard when you go to a quality brand, a different brand quality than some of those. So, I mean, there's a lot of great stuff out there, but when I play my Pearl or when I play another Pearl reference or something like that. Or if you're used to playing DW all the time, there's just a build quality that's different from everybody else. They just do things better. They do things at a higher volume. It allows them to do better work. It'll be a cold day in hell before I stop playing Pearl. That's for sure.
I don't blame you. If it works, why fix it? Why change it?
Yeah.
My next question is to the entire band. Maybe each of you can just chime in. What is a concert experience like? For fans that come to see 100,000, what kind of show are they gonna get when they come to see you guys?
Well, we've put a lot of work into this show specifically. We feel very strongly that a 100,000 show should not feel like just another group of yahoos on stage jumping around. We have a light setup that we bring with basically everywhere as long as the stage is big enough to hold it. And we really take pains to make people feel like they're getting an experience, something that's unique to what we do.
Fantastic. Any special venues that are just your special place to play out in North Jersey for the North Jersey fans that might be able to catch you?
Maxwell's and Mexicali are kind of our 2 home turf places. If we're doing something a little more special and boutique, we'll play at Architect, just because that's kind of our home base.
And that's North Jersey, right?
Yeah, that's in Butler.
Okay.
So those are kind of our 3 home places. Greg actually works at Maxwell's, so that's a really easy in for us. Next to Cali is just a great place. We've been playing forever. An architect I own, so we have a lot of options. Whatever options we want, we gotta have them. So.
And speaking of shows, we do have a show scheduled November 11th at Maxwell's. We're bringing down One Time Mountain from Boston or
Good.
local.
The show's
Yeah,
gonna
those guys are
be
awesome. Yeah, I know
the
those
show's
guys
gonna
are-
be huge. I think the ticket link just came out, so people that want to go should buy now because it's probably gonna sell out quickly.
And where's that going to be? Where's that venue?
That's Maxwell's in Hoboken.
Is that a pretty sizable venue?
Uh, What's Maxwell's cap?
200.
200. Yeah,
200.
it's a small tight room. It's going to be loud and it's going to be bright and it's going to be hopping.
It's a great club. It's been there forever. It's legendary room. I mean, you've had everyone play there at some point. Anyone who's anyone has played there.
It sounds cool. I'm just saying that I can see 100,000 playing. I don't know what the name is because it changed so many times every year. But we had the Susquehanna Banks Center in Camden, and I don't know if you've been there before, but it's just a very big venue, and I could see you guys just totally up there with a lot of the legendary bands that have been up there, and your sound is that good. You have to understand that, and that's why I'm saying that. That's why I'm hitting this home, and everybody that's out there that sees this video and share this video when it comes your way, because this band is the real deal. And I look forward, whatever happens, take your time, whatever. But when you guys break and go big, I'm glad that I know that I had this special interview with you guys now. So
Unless we break up in 2 weeks.
don't
Hopefully.
do that. Don't do that. I won't name the band that happened. I don't know, maybe you know who it is, but
That's sad. That would be sad.
It was sad. I was like, God, these guys are so good, awesome, and they had such a driving.
We have no plans to break up, but if for some reason we break up in 2 weeks, you got to stop interviewing me.
We're gonna pull everything. Yeah, we're just gonna pull our heads down in our laps, and that's it. Just pull everything. Screw it. What do your fans have to look forward to in the future? I know you have an EP, but we didn't really talk about does that EP have a name? But what they have to look forward, aside from the EP, what do you have planned in the future over the course of the next year and so on?
We have a full-length concept record coming out March of next year.
Oh, wow.
And we're not going to really release too much information about it, but it's a pretty big undertaking, and it's going to be really cool. I don't know how else to describe it without giving it away, but it's going to be really, really sick, and it's something everybody can relate to. Everybody can relate to at least one song on the record.
We've been working on it kind of since January, and I think it's
last year.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I would say we've been going sort of full bore on it since January of this year, but the thing that makes me hopeful about it really is, here we are 8 months into writing, and we're still very excited about it.
Right.
So I think it's going to be good things for us.
Is this the same producer that was involved with Low? Is this the same person? You've got a new producer? Because whoever the producer was on Low was pretty amazing. Like, is this the same individual that's helping you with?
Musically, we self-produced.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we'll be doing the same for this next one.
I wouldn't have guessed that. I just assumed that you've had some production help to make it to that level. And if you've done that by yourself, then even more kudos, because that's really phenomenal.
At the beginning of the writing process for the last record, we did have a co-write or some co-producing the vocals with Clint from Seven Dust.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
That was very early on in the last record.
Mm-hmm.
But recording wise and music wise, it's all been us.
So you guys have your own studio, then? I imagine you have your own setup.
Yeah, I own a commercial recording studio called Architect Music in Butler. That's our kind of home base for a lot of things.
So then, would it be safe to say, aside from your musicianship skills, you also have some engineering, like some music engineering background?
It would be safe to say that. Greg's got an audio degree. We're well established outside of just being a fan.
Believe it or not, that happens from time to time. I don't know if you guys know Primeval from New York, but Mike Yusufer is the lead guitarist of Primeval, and he is a really stellar music engineer, producer, as well. So very cool. So I'm going to move into the last question, which is just, we're going to take it to more of a kind of a somber note. And in the previous interviews with Breaking Solace and Scare Card, we talked a little bit about Chris Cornell. And I think, we've kind of said our piece with Chris, and it's a really sad situation. But what really blew me away was the news about Chester Bennington, because his music has been in my life since the beginning, and as with many, and it's just such powerful music. He's really taken his music to another level. And I mean, I don't know, there's even some articles out there that say that, there could be foul play. I don't know what's gonna come out, but I just think it's a very tragic situation that on the birthday of Chris Cornell, we have the loss of Chester Bennington, which I consider a very legendary musician. I love Linkin Park, and I just thought maybe you guys could share your feelings on the situation.
Sure, that was really, really tough. That's the first celebrity death that like really shook me, I think.
Yeah, me too.
I remember buying Hybrid Theory when it came out. I mean, that shaped a lot of the way I viewed music, or a lot of the way I approached music, or at least it did for a really long time. I guess it still does, but it's just so sad. There's not a lot of happy things to say about it, other than his legacy is obviously felt by a lot of people.
Yeah, you really feel for, as hard as you take those things as fans. And I mean, losing Chris Cornell was really painful. It's sort of like being in mourning for, like, I don't know, 5 months at this point.
Yeah.
But as hard as we take these things as fans, you can only imagine how difficult it is as a family member, as someone who has a personal relationship with these people. And I think it was 2 weeks ago, when Chris Cornell, his daughter, was on Good Morning America singing Hallelujah, which is the song Chester sang at Chris's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was at work when I watched that, and I was like getting the tissues out, and I'm just sitting there at my desk. It's something that's hard. It's like inescapable, and you also sort of want to show those great artists the respect that they've sort of earned in a way by taking that time to really reflect on how their work has affected you. And I think Chester and Chris were both tough losses for us.
Definitely. Does anybody else want to say something, or you want to?
I mean, anybody who knows me knows that Bowie, Prince, and Cornell were my favorite. And people don't know that Chester was my first influence, which made me want to scream. And
Yeah. Right.
And so I mean, for me personally, the past 2 years has been I couldn't imagine anybody else passing away could have been worse.
You got all your favorite. You got a few of them in there,
Yeah, and I went to Chris's funeral when I was in LA, and that was heavy. That was one of the most heavy moments of my life. Actually, he actually had a section. He was buried in I forgot that. It might have been the Garden of Eden section of LA. Of the cemetery there, but they renamed it the Sound Garden of Eden or something like that. It was really cool.
Wow.
And it was just I don't know what to say. It was just a whole community of people, and his loved ones were still there. A couple of them were still there, and just surrounding his gravesite. I put a 100,000 pick on the gravestone with a whole bunch of other picks there, and there was a whole community thing.
That's nice. Definitely.
Yeah.
And the other thing about losing Chester is that was like a week away from, they were supposed to play in New York at Citi Field. I think exactly a week from when we lost him. So it was, the hype of the show was kind of starting to ramp up. You heard people talking about, hey, you going to Linkin Park? Yeah, dude, can't wait. And then canceled.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it kind of goes without saying, but it can't be said enough. If anybody's listening and you need help, you need to reach out. We've got a friend who runs a great nonprofit called the U-Rock Foundation, which is to promote for people struggling with thoughts of suicide, people with depression. Check them out. They're awesome. But
Cornell and Chester Bennington, we give our greatest condolences, and we, give you our prayers and hope you can get through this. Over time, it will get better. We'll never go away, but hopefully over time it will get better. So I want to say thank you for having this interview with Talent Raiders. Keep making good music. I hope you're still together in 2 weeks. And let's get ready to watch 100,000's official video, Low.